Good evening, good evening. That away. Just get all my bits ready. So, let's see who we get join us today. Yes. Hi, Philippa. That's good. That's good. We're not on our own. Okay. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Going to get the iPad while people are joining. I'm going to need to turn it down now, aren't I? There we go. Perfect. I'll pop that up there and then I can see the comments coming through as they do. This is good. Okay. So tonight we are going to be making this cute little bag. The bag is actually a stencil from my Nature's Dream 2 collection, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But I've coupled it up with some of the stamps from Essentially Christmas #1, 2 and 3 in the Julie Hickey designer range. And then I've also used some of Emma's, it's called Christmas Florals. I just thought they sat really, really nicely on there. It's just a cute little project for Christmas. It's brilliant for popping little gifts in there. Maybe it's some sweets, maybe it's chocolate, maybe you want to give a gift of money, but you want it to look really special. I think this is brilliant for that. On top of that, it will also, it's perfectly sized to fit A6 cards and envelopes inside. So maybe you don't want to do a Christmas version, you want to do an everyday version. You could give that as a gift, which I think is brilliant. It's a lovely size, and I'll take you through how to make that. So let's have a little look. Here we go. Oh, we've got quite a few of you now. So I won't say hello to you all separately. I'm just going to say thank you for joining. You'll notice on this page, Julie Hickey Designs, I just had to remind myself where I was. There's lots and lots of lives going on with all different Christmas projects throughout the week. So I'm trying to think who's next up. What day are we on? Wednesday. I know there's something tomorrow, but come back and check. I know that there's like a little video and a post goes up every day to say who's going to do the live, what GT member, and yeah, you'll see something magical, I'm sure. So I'm only 2 minutes in. I will flip the camera and we'll get started, I think. I'm just going to, as I'm doing that, I'll check to see if any questions have come through. But I do know that Julie's on there and Philippa, so I'm sure they will help me out. Ah, there you go. Philippa is on Friday morning. Friday morning. Hi, Joan. Penny. Oh, this is lovely. Okay. So to start off with, I have got on here my prep bits, but I'm going to take you back to the beginning. And I'll just bring this in just so that you can see. This is what I'm talking about. It's bag stencil, Nature's Dream 2 bag stencil, and you get 3 stencils there. So I'm just going to pull those out. And by using this piece twice, that'll give you a front and a back of the bag. This piece gives you the flap that goes over the top, and this piece is for your handle. So they're really, really easy to use. If you push the stencil up to 2 corners and get that nice and straight across there, I recommend just using a pencil and drawing around the outside. I'm just going to do this quick. When you get to this bit, make sure you go and make sure it's a nice sharp pencil. You want to get right up to the point and down. Look at that. That's about the wobbliest line you could ever draw. Okay, so I've got the outline in. Now there's two things you could do now. You could get a small ball tool and run down, or you could do what I'm going to do. And I am going to take the outside of all of these lines and just run my pencil down. These are the fold lines, the score lines. You've got a little V there and a line up there, and then that one. Now these two sets of lines on here, they are guidelines for your mat and layers. You don't have to follow them, and you can kind of go somewhere in between each one of them if you want to. It's just on there to give you a guide. So if I take that away, that's what we're looking at. I would then cut this out and I would bring my scoreboard in. I'll just flip it up the other way just so that you can see. And I would run down those pencil lines and score on all of the score lines. So that's the 9 one. And then so on and so forth. So I'm going to score this one, this one, this one. Across here, if you score down this one, I'm just going to line it up to a line. Stop at the point because you want diagonal score lines there. Now, if you find it hard to do it on a board, just get a ruler and a ball tool. But it's once you line it up, it's quite easy to just do that. And what that will mean is that when you fold this, it gives you that kind of gusset bit on the side. You could rub all of that out, but what I tend to do is just to have that bit on the inside. So these are my pencil lines still there, and I folded it so that this is the front. One of the reasons being I didn't have a rubber. Sorry, Miss B. You haven't missed much, Yvonne. You are absolutely fine. I was just explaining how to get the elements from the back stencil from Nature's Dream 2. So that is my front and my back. And I've gone ahead and I've done the flap that goes over the front. We've got a little tab on there. Now, I kind of gathered that I needed to prep these because otherwise it would probably take me maybe a good 20 minutes to go through and measure all of these out. And that's the bit I'm looking for. So on the stencil here, you've got 2 lines there. If I pop this behind, you'll see that I chose that outside line for that one. And then I think I then didn't go smaller. I just cut this a little bit bigger than this one. So I use this as a template for that one. Okay, so I've got a little black matte layer. Yeah, that fits perfect. And then I've done a matte layer for the front, like so. And a matte layer from the back. And again, all of the lines for those are on here, the second 2 lines. So super easy to use, and I think very versatile for lots of different occasions. So I've just tuck them back in there. And we might as well stick the bag together while we're here. Oh, where did I put my strip? Come on. Oh well, I'll get it at the end. I'll probably need to make another one. Okay, so if you have them both going the same way, so I've got my tab there and my tab pointing that way, we are just going to, you could use a wet glue for this or a tape. Offer that up. Actually, one thing I'm going to tell you before I stick that down, this tab here, just give it more of an angled shape, and that's so that when we stick this piece on, it's gonna move freely. and give that time to really bond. And then I'm going to flip it over, and there you can see what I mean. I've cut it away from this fold line. So I'll do the same on this one before I go and stick it. Okay. And I'm going to fold this line in here, and I'm going to put my glue in and then just flip that over, and you'll see it automatically finds its match. Give that a squeeze, and by squeezing that you get this shape on the side. Okay, now before I stick the bottom, I am actually going to stick this flap on. I always mean to do it on all of the ones that I've made before. It's just going to make your job a lot easier. Okay, I feel like my camera's on the wonk a little bit, but we'll go with it. Okay, so this little piece here, I can either stick it on the inside so it's hidden in there, or just pop it over the back. Now I've made it both ways before, it really doesn't matter to me. If you stick it this way, when we put the mat and layer on, it is going to cover it anyway. So I think what am I going to do? I'm going to go, yeah, I'm just going to go on the back. So I'm going to put my glue on this flap here. And then, depends on how comfortable, I'm just going to pop that in place. Give that a squeeze, and then let that flop up. There we go. So I know that that's definitely bonded. And then for this piece, I'm going to put one piece in. Now I'm going to put the back piece in first. Then I'm just going to pop glue on there and there, and pop them in, and then onto this piece. Now the reason I did the back bit first is so that when you sit it down from the front, you haven't got this edge. It's always going to be at the back. So once you've done that, pop it around. This piece should be stuck enough now to be able to fold back, so that you can pop your hand in and just give that a little bit of a firming on the bottom. Perfect. Okay, now, one thing I do need to do, I have well and truly lost my strap from the top, but that's fine. I'll make one at the end. I'm going to pop that to one side. And we're going to bring in some of these elements. I think we'll start off with the back. And I'm going to need a couple of stamp blocks. Now the stamps I'm going to use are the Essentially Christmas hashtag 1, 2 and 3. So I'm going to use these little stars from here, pop them on the block. I'm going to use this little branch here. And I've got Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas and Season's Greetings. And I think for this one, I'm going to pop Season's Greetings on. Stand that out of the way. So I'll pop that onto another block. And then from this set here, I'm going to have the large snowflake and the medium snowflake, And I want one more little block. It's not. It's a bit of a big block, but okay. Yeah, we'll have that one. Okay, so that's all of the bits that I need, all prepared. My next choice is going to be what colour am I going to do it. So this colour here, I used, it's a Studio Light water reactive ink, and it's from the blue set, and it's the darkest one. So I'm going to go completely different. And the thing is, I'm having a bit of a green time at the minute. Everything I make is green, and I was so tempted to pick the greens up, but I'm not. I'm going to go for this beautiful purple colour. as much as it would look beautiful in green, I'm sure. And I will also need a piece of scrap card by my side. Have I got a piece? Okay. So I'm going to start off by inking up the large snowflake, and I'm just going to randomly stamp some of these down. So some coming off the page, trying not to be too uniform, but I'm just getting a little bit here, a little bit there. Okay, so whilst I'm here, I'm going to repeat that. That would actually make sense, wouldn't it? Otherwise, I'd have to repeat the process. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing. The more you think about it, the harder it becomes. So just kind of go for it. Okay, two-ish the same. They don't have to be the same, of course. Now I'm going to move on to the next size down. Now this is where I want my scrap card, because I want to stamp them down, but I don't want them the same shade as that, but I only want to use one ink pad. It's giving me a shadow. Maybe that's better. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ink up, take off and stamp down, and follow the same sort of routine. Once you get into a little flow, you're fine. Just filling in all of those gaps. Yeah, just there. That's where we're going with that. Right, now this time I'm going to go on to a smaller one, and I'm going to go back to the full print. So again, just filling in. There isn't any rules with this. You can put as many or as little as you want on, but I've still got some other bits to stamp in there, so I'm being mindful that I do need a little bit of gap in there still. So that's my 3 size snowflakes. Now I'm going to accent that with a bit of black. So I'm going to come in, and I've got my Season's Greetings. I'm going to take my VersaCline lid off, and I'm just going to pop in a few. Doesn't have to be the whole word. We can just pop little bits peeking through. Because there's going to be one for the front, one for the back. So just a little bit of wording in there. Let's just get a little bit of tissue. Clean that up. Okay. So for the minute, I'm happy with those. And then I'm going to come in with these, oh, I love these little stars. I'm not sure I like it on this tiny block though, but we'll be fine. I'm just going to rotate these round. I want to change the block. And just pop a few of these in. And one there, one there. Yes, just like that. Okay, that's that one. Okay, so I'm quite happy with them. I am actually going to set them aside to dry because I do want to ink around the outside, but I don't want to smudge any of that ink. So just set them aside. And whilst we're doing that, I'm going to bring in some card and we will stamp down some of the other elements we need. So we want this lovely branch. And guess what? I haven't pre-cut these out purposefully because I always laugh saying I don't like cutting out in front of everybody. But you know what? It is what it is. I can do it. So I want 3 branches. And then I'm going to pop that one back on. If I can find the sheet. And I am going to also need 3, look, I'd already stamped them, 3 of Emma's Christmas florals. There's 2 sizes on there, but I've got 2 small and 1 large. Now I've got a, excuse me. So I'm just going to cut these out with like a little border around them. So I promise you won't hear me talk much now because I have to concentrate. My tongue is sticking out, I can absolutely assure you. But I like the little bit of a white border around them. It actually makes them really easy to cut out. I haven't been looking. I thought I saw the strap with your stencils you put aside earlier. If it's there, I can kiss you. Oh, it's not there. That's me Myla strap. Funnily enough, because I designed it, I know what measurement it is. I'm going to cut one in a minute. But thank you. I'll find it. I don't even know where I would have put it. Okay, so that's one. And again, you don't have to be too careful with these. These are just a little bit of foliage for dressing. They might look really pretty with, maybe you've got some die cuts of foliage as well. Or instead of, they would look really nice. I just like, this is quite a versatile stamp because you can make your little wreaths with it as well. Okay, that's 2. I've even got a bin right by my side. And I'm just going to keep these ones black because again that's going to fit in with my design. And these would look, the little bag would look so cute with pattern papers on as well. I mean, it's like we're putting pattern papers on it, but we're just making it ourselves, which is nice. Right then, now for the florals. Now, you could cut these right up to the line if you want, but again, it does feel a little bit easier if you just leave a kind of equalish border around. I mean, I do prefer to cut with like a snip or a small. It's either these or these, both as good as each other, because I do have quite large hands. So this allows my fingers to get in. And with the other ones, because they're snips, you don't need to put your fingers in the holes. You see, I can absolutely tell you it already feels like half an hour's passing just to do this cutting out, but I'm sure it's going fast. Well, I hope it is. We'll get to the fun bit in a minute. It's all in the prep. There we go. One. Do you know what? When I was just going to say when I came home from work, I was going to come up and cut these out, but I've actually had the day off today. Wednesday is my day. I've been shopping with my mum and I've been to my daughter's house. So I've had quite a nice day. Obviously, you want to take your time cutting these out. Okay. 2. We don't need them. Get rid of them. And the last one. Now, to colour these flowers, I'm going to use the same colour ink. I do quite like making one colour cards, especially by stamping in like first and second generation. It gives quite a nice look. It almost looks like you've used different colours, but you haven't. Even like by blending and then stamping on the top, that looks different as well. It's like, how? But it does. I can absolutely tell you I've not even looked up at the screen to see if any questions are coming in. There we go. How are we? For those of you that are saying sorry you're late, you haven't missed anything yet. We've just put the bag together and we're just getting our bits cut. Right. Put my lid on that ink. Now then, we're ready to get creative. So, for my flowers, I'm going to have 3 of those. I'm going to need a water brush. Have I got one with water in? Yes, I have. I'm going to pop some ink down on my mat. And for once, I'm not going to use my hand. I'm going to use a piece of tissue. Don't know what's come over me. I'm going to get my brush nice and wet and just pick up a little bit of ink on there and squidge it down, take the colour off, and then kind of just move that around a bit, because I just want them to look a little bit washy as opposed to a solid colouring, if that makes sense. More water. And then you can go a little bit darker in the middle. And again, just take that colour off and that will then just blend out. So if I bring that up for you, it's subtle and washy. When that dries, I might want to deepen it up a bit, but for the moment, it's absolutely fine. I am going on to Media Artist card. I do find it perfect for anything watercolour. It gives you time to move your ink around without it sinking into the card. So I am now going to deepen up these middles, just a touch. And then just run the brush around those edges and it just softens it out. That's 2 done, and then we want that 3rd. There's no skill in that bit. I'm just literally dobbing it on. Take that colour off. But it is important to take the colour off in between. It just softens. There we go. So we've got our 3 flowers. Okay. Even though I'm a lefty, even though you're a lefty, you cut with your right hand. See, I just couldn't do it. I do everything with my left hand. Okay. Now I need a blending tool. Tool or brush? Tool or brush? Choices. I'm going to have this piece. And I'm going to have this piece. Let's see if I can find a purple one. Yes, that will do us. Okay. So I'm just going to blend onto here the purple. And I'm going to try and do this a little bit deeper at the outside, but soften it into the middle. Or I'm just going to put okay. Now then, while they're together, I'm going to spritz them. Now, look at that with the water on. It just takes your eye off of any blending whatsoever. Just dry this wet bit up. Okay. So this little strip, I've just measured this myself just to go onto there because I just thought it would look quite cute on there. So I've done that. And before I go any further, I am gonna just cut myself a strip. Now I know it's 2 centimetres. But 28. 28. And then I've got to score it at a centimetre from each end. There we go. Now on my sample, I left my handle white. And actually I do quite like it white. I was just thinking, do I want to colour it? But I don't think I do. I'm going to keep it this colour. So these little tabs. And that will give us the handle shape. So that's ready. That's ready. Now the 2 pieces that I stamped earlier should be dry now. So I'm just going to add a little bit of ink around the outside of here. And again, depends how deep you want to go. I'm just putting a soft bit in, but actually I'm going to try something different as well. They come in a little bit deeper. And even though this is all done in water reactive, I'm just going to spritz around the outside and see if I can mimic that spotting effect. So you've got that lovely spotting effect to match the flap. We'll do that again. There we go. And we'll do the same, just around the outside. There we go. Okay, so we've got all of our elements now. Just going to move that over. And we can mat and layer these all up. So, take my glue. I'm just looking back, see if anything, that's fine. Okay. Just get that equal border. I mean, they'd make quite nice little cards as well. Just little toppers for cards if you've got a batch make lots and lots. And again, just make sure that that's equal. So that's 2, and then we just got these 2 little ones to do. It's been really quite mild today, I have to say. When I was out and about, I was so warm. I'd made the mistake, it was body warmer, scarf. Right, that's in position. And then this last little bit. Okay. We'll pop this bit on first. So give that a squeeze so you've got that flat area. And then just squeeze that into position. Okay. And then we've got the little flap. Okay, so for that, I'm just going to pop it that way. Make sure, I think I've slid that over a little bit, but okay, that's fine. And then one for the back. This bit will cover my little tab that I decided to go on the outside as opposed to the inside. Now what I could have done, instead of doing all of these mats and layers, I could have actually have stamped on all of those elements before I put the bag together. Just stamped directly onto here, because I have actually made it in media artist card, so it's a lovely thick quality. That's it. And then one for the front. A nice firm press, make sure it's in position. Okay, so now all that we need to do is pop our strap on. Now these little tabs here, I'm going to glue on the inside and then tuck it onto here and stick that on there. So I might as well do this one while it's flat. You don't need loads of glue on there, but butt it up, get in position, and then squeeze that down until that's bonded. You could also, if you wanted to, just cut a strip then to hide the tabs if you wanted to. And then pop a bit on that other tab. And if you do the same sort of thing where you pull that in and you can squeeze it until that's bonded. Okay. And that gives us our handle. Now, for a closure, you can use your hook and loop. I'm not going to put it on just yet, but why don't I? That's a good idea. So I need one of the knobbly ones, one of the furry ones. Technical terms here, you know. And I'm going to stick that onto here, like so, and then squeeze that into place, because it will make it easier for me when I'm sticking my flowers on. So now I'm going to give them a good shape and arrange them onto here. Now I'm just going to, normally I would lay them out, but you know what, I'm just going for it. I'm going to pop that one there. I'm going to pop this one under there. This one. See, I've still got a bit of slidey time. Have that one there. And then we'll poke in some of our foliage. One there. Knobbly and furry describes them perfectly. It does, doesn't it? Last one. Feel like that bit needs to come down there. Okay, now to finish that off, the reason I stamped Season's Greetings in the background there is because with the little sentiment dies, if I bring those in, we've got the Christmas set, we've got the everyday set. By mixing and matching them, I put winter wishes on my first bag, but this one, in the Christmas ones, we've got Seasons, Greetings, and they're my backgrounds. So I'm going to die cut those, that and that. And I want my backgrounds to be in black. Get them up the right way. And there's a bit of black. And then these ones to be in the media artist to match. I'm just going to feed that through. I'm going to need my tweezers and my glue. Now I've got no bits that I've got to look out for not to lose. So that's that piece. And then there. Okay, so I like to flick them out because they come out in like solid, if that makes sense. No, solid's the wrong word. If I pull them, I don't want to distort them. That's the right word, Hazel. Don't want to distort them. So now I can stick these on. I'm going to be good. I'm not going to put it on my hand. Although I do very much enjoy peeling it off when it's dry. Pop that one on. And taking a lot of that excess glue off. Okay. And then our purple bag. Oh, one of me flowers just fell off. That one I want it tucked under. Okay. And then I'm just going to use some of this thin strip on here. just to stick. I'm not. That's it. Now just get the backs off of those. What have we got first? Greetings. So we'll have greetings. Oh, I don't want to cover that star up. I need to cover the star up. And seasons. There we go. And there is, I'm just going to lift that up a little bit. If I bring this one in, because this hasn't got the Velcro bit on, and I'll just hold them together, but you've got, this is like a marini blue, or you've got your purple there, but you could make these in so many different colours, you really could, whether it's cards inside or gifts. So that one's, let's see if I can get the back off of there now. Yeah, there you go. And then once you've opened it once, just make sure the knobbly bit and the furry bit are stuck tight. And then every time you shut them and open them, they're perfect. So let's flip you round. There we go. Oh gosh. Oh, that's better. Sorry, my head disappeared then. So there you go. That is our little Christmas bag, but could be any kind of bag. I hope you've enjoyed it. Look out for Philippa on Friday morning. Thank you, Donna. Christine, yes, because you've got one of those, haven't you? Oh, I'm really glad you've enjoyed it. That's brilliant. And yeah, look out for more. So thank you very much. And I'm signing out. Bye-bye. Bye.